Valentine's a charm. Hi. So it's the 14th of February. Hello, Kitty. Kitty wants to come and say Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Yay me. So it's been a while. I don't think I've seen you this year, maybe? Yeah, January. We did talk early January. She's licking my toes. Yeah, so what's been happening? Cross stitch, a bit of cross stitch, sometimes not cross stitch, other times lots of cross stitch, but I'm sure I've got plenty to talk about. We'll start with a new start. So my friend says to me, I want to commission you to do me a cross stitch piece for my new house. And just makes me so happy. She didn't understand how happy that made me because she's not a cross stitcher, but she does have Instagram, so we look at each other's stuff on Instagram, so she knows I'm obsessed. And she says, I want like a welcome, something like that, cross stitch, because she's building a new house. Lucky girl. So I bombarded her with all these images of all these, I went searching, oh, this one, look at this, oh, this one's got lots of beading and variegated thread, and I got really excited. I think it was a bit too sort of tizzy for her. Anyway, she wanted something that was black and teal. So what we settled on, or what she chose, and I agreed to stitch, is this here from Dimensions. It's only a small kit, Home Crazy Home. And it works out to be about 7 by 11 inches, I think. Yep, 5 by 7, sorry. 5 by 7. So it's a nice little piece. And we're adding some turquoise into that. We're adding some 958. Oh, Butterfingers. 958, personal favourite, to the white. And this is what we're up to so far. So this is my first time working on Black Ada. Hip, hip, hooray. It's actually not so bad. I mean, you can see my Pyrex through this. There we go. And changing some of the bits and pieces to turquoise. So I'm going to do the little swirly bits up here. Probably do those turquoise. And then the banner part there. I think that'll work. Do you think that'll work? Anyway, it's a super easy stitch. This was a day or two's worth stitching. It's all I've worked on this week. I've only stitched 2 nights this week, so that's all. And one of those nights was in bed. So, yeah, it's super quick. Look, I haven't even laid the slab at her new house, so I'll have it finished in plenty of time. But I was just really excited to do something for a friend. When she said commission, she was going to pay me to do it. It was like, I'm not. That's just made me so happy. And now I've got a housewarming present for her. So, yay. So that's happening. Oh, and this was stuck there. I'll show you this. So I've seen people talk about this style of needle threader before. Was it Organic Granny? Spoke about these. No, it was Smiling When Stitching. I can't remember your name now. You changed your YouTube name. You do a lot of hard anger, and you spoke about these needle threaders, and I was been looking for them, and I found this one. That's pretty cute, isn't it? Little heart, and it's magnetic. Simplest thing in the world, but genius. And it is by Puffin and Company, magnetic needle threader, sorry. And yeah, it says stick it to your needle nanny. And I got that from Fox Collection, which is an Australian distributor of cross-stitchy stuff online, and it says it's assembled in the USA. So there you go. Anyway, so now I just stick this little handy-dandy little thing. And it's nice and fine, so it works well with size 24 needles. I haven't tried the smaller. Because this uses 3 strands of white. 3 strands of white to get you the coverage over the black on 14 count. A needle threader does come in handy with 3 strands. So that's my new start, which brings me up to 6 whips in total. It's all right, I'll only show you 5 tonight. One of them I haven't worked on at all, and it's only small, so it doesn't count. So that's that one. And then we'll move on to what will we show you? I'll show you my mermaid. Shall I show you my mermaid? Since you saw her last. So this is Teresa Wentzler, Mermaid. Shiny, shiny. She's pretty. And she's full of blended threads. Full of blended threads. Pretty much everything is blended. I'll show you where I'm up to, and I'll show you my way that I'm tackling this. So here we go. So you can see I have started, I finished this top border here. That was finished after my first week. I think I stitched on it for about 9 days because New Year's Eve or New Year's Day was a Friday, wasn't it? So for that week I got an extra 2 days. So I finished that top border including back stitching along here. And then this next week, which was the first week of February, I did here, and then I started in here because I wanted to get away from the border. I was dying to get into some of this stuff over here. Let me see if I can show it to you up close. Hope that's in focus for you. So this is a 28 count Jobelin. I'd say it's an ivory. I've never worked on Jobelin even weave before, and it's beautiful. It's really thick, but it's really soft. You can see how it drapes beautifully. And it's kind of like it's thicker than the Lugana I've worked on. I really like it. So I'm a bit of a Jobelin fan. And I'm really liking how this blending is working out. Now, in the blending is nuts. So it blends colours that are so similar, and then it'll have another symbol that blends 2 other colours which are so similar to the other 2 you just already did. Like, it's the most subtle change. But when you see it stitched, yeah, it's pretty good. And also in here there are some of this is just half stitching as well. So you sort of start to get real, I want to use the word dimension, but don't confuse it with the dimension kit. They do it a lot as well, but this is a lot of half stitching, but with the blending element, which also dimensions do, but not to this level, not where every damn symbol is another blended thread. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what the final result is going to be. So it's going to be, that's, you know, you can see how big it's going to be. That's centered. So with all this blending, I needed some kind of way of managing those blended threads. So let's say you have a symbol and it has a purple and a blue. So you take out your purple, you take out your blue, and you stitch, say, 20 stitches. I'm not parking on this at the moment. So you stitch 20 stitches, and then you've got this much of each of those colours left. Now, do you put those back onto the pre-sorted cards? What do you do? Because you're constantly just managing threads, and it really takes up a lot of your stitching time. So Teresa Little Stitcher, everyone's friend on Flosstube, suggested, well, she uses these for her Heaven and Earth. And she spoke about them in one of her tag videos, I think. There's one of her go-to tools. Anyway, I've heard her speak about it a couple of times. A Paco floss organiser. Well, this is just the most perfect thing ever. I bought 2. This is still in the pack. I got this from 123 Stitch, but you can buy them from Fox Collection in Australia, and they're about $29, which is very reasonable. I got mine from 123 Stitch because it gave me an excuse to do a 123 Stitch order. And so this one's still in the pack. I got two because they hold 50 symbols each, and this Mermaid has over 100. I thought I'll get two. So this is the one that I've started using. This is just what I've used to do. I wasn't using it when I did the top border, okay? So just in this section here, so this bit in here and this border from there to there, this has taken up all of these. Now, the great thing with the Paco floss organizer is that you could also use it for your needles. There is a needle organizer which just pins your needles in. Now, this can also hold just your floss if it's not threaded on a needle. Just to show you. You see here on the one in the pack, it gives you an example of how it can hold floss. See, that just loops over these little hooks. You write your symbol here. Voila, great. I think it's a fantastic idea if you're doing something like a full coverage heaven and earth and you've got like 70 colours, and rather than having all these bobbins in a box and you've got to keep cutting off a length or whatever, you just cut up. I mean, if you know you're going to use a whole skein or whatever, or you cut off 3 lengths, you know, put them on there, and you can just remove one strand as well with your needle. If you just hook your needle under one of those strands and pull that, it will release just one strand and keep the rest tightly held in here. The other thing I like about it is rather than using the pre-sorted cards, I find that you can get knots happening because I should have an example here. Hang on. Sorry, rustling. This is my whip box. Shall I show you? This is what I have all my current whips in. Where is it? Sorry. So these are the pre-sorted floss cards that come with my Mermaid. So you get this whole tangled mess going on, and however you like to, you know, you've got a knot here and there. Oh, it just gets really messy and you're constantly like trying to, but that's a disaster. There's 3 of those, look. Disaster. And as you work through your thread, you end up with just, you know, like this little bit here. The number of times I get knots in those, I hate them. Hate them. This is the end of those. So because it's all blended thread, what I'm doing, stuff them back in there. Every time I get a new symbol, so here we go. This one is a 7. The symbol is a 7. So there is on that, there's a pale blue and a mauve, believe it or not. Yeah, that's never going to focus for you. But the colour result you get is kind of what you see in there. So I thread my needle, I do my stitches, and then I just pop him back in there. And then it holds in between these little foam pads here. And then when I get to 7 again, well, I can just whip that needle out, do my symbols that I need to. I could park, but it's almost like there's too many colours, and it's not as confetti as a heaven and earth. It's different again. It's not confetti heavy enough. The colour doesn't appear enough. You can kind of, I mean, in this part here, I've stitched all those colours that appear in that section. That's the only time that symbol appears in that area. So even if I parked, that would be all the colour I'd use, and then I'd have to finish off and it'll appear somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's not something I'm going to park on, I don't think. This is kind of this is, instead of parking, I'm parking my threads on here instead of parking my threads on there. Does that make sense? Anyway, so that's what I'm using it for. So thanks, Teresa. That was a really Good enabling, man. Awesome. I've got a bit of enabling going on here tonight. The great thing about this, I'll tell you a few more features. These are removable cards that have the symbols on them. I've written all mine in pencil, but they give you like, I don't know, they give you a stack of spares, plus they're double-sided. You can flip it over, there's more. And, yeah, so you've got plenty, and you can buy replacements as well. So no worries there, just use them. So that's that, and that's my mermaid. And I love her. I love her, I love her. She's so pretty, even though I haven't got to the mermaid. Oh. So I'm just going to do a shout out quickly because I can hear groans in the room, ladies. To my girls, Virginia, over there, I'm looking at you. Julie, there on the couch next to me. Hey. Jenna, over there. They're my Friday night Stitcher girls. We've started watching Flosstube on Friday nights on my big TV in the lounge room. We all have set seating arrangements. And, yeah, so we've been watching Flosstube. So we watched Pam and we watched Carolyn and we've watched the Stash Queen and we've watched Diane. And, yeah, it's the only time the room is silent is when there's someone on the screen talking about cross-stitch. Otherwise, we just chat the whole time. So word up to my girls in the room if you're watching. Don't embarrass me. I'm so embarrassed when we watch my videos. Oh, my God. I'm trying not to do any of the things that they picked on me for doing, like drinking Midori. Won't do that again. Anyway, back to cross stitch. I said your name, Virginia. Virginia, Virginia, Virginia. Virginia. Battle of Hastings. It's going to look like this. Can you see it? It's from this French company called no, I'm not even going to say it. Sajou. I don't know what it means. I don't know what they do. It's somebody's French, tell me. It's from the Museums and Heritage Collection. They've got a range of different ones from Battle of Hastings. I think they've got some new stuff out too. Anyway, I've spoken about this so many times in other videos. You must be sick of hearing me. But here's my update. I don't know where I was up to last. You'll have to watch my last video to find out. And that's where we are now. Very fun stitch, this. It starts moving along very fast when you're doing a lot of this back stitching. I'm going to hold it this way because it's easier. This is how I stitch it anyway on my frame. Like all of that took me no time because it's just a lot of back stitching with a few cross stitches here and there. And yeah, we're sort of, where's the halfway mark? I think, well, that's about halfway there, isn't it? Yeah. So where the red horse is there, that's halfway. So I'm almost halfway. That's about how big it'll be. I've only done about maybe 3-4 weeks stitching on this, but not solid stitching. So should have that done within 6 months, as long as I keep on track. But that's been fun. That's just on a 28 count Cashile in a crew, and it uses the threads that came in the kit, which are wool darning threads. So I'll put a link down below if you're interested in doing that piece. And then I've got my AAN butterfly. Sorry about my highlighting creativity on the picture. That's what it will look like, except not quite so psychedelic. Spring Butterfly by Alessandra Adelaide. And we are up to, we did a little bit more. We started on the second wing. So I'd finished this wing on this side the end of last year, and then I just started stitching down here. Doesn't take long to do much once you get into it, but it doesn't inspire me that much. It's kind of just X's in one colour. Now, I've spoken about this before, but this is the Weeks Dye Works, and the Weeks Dye Works itself, it feels lovely, but I wanted it to be really variegated, and it's not. It's kind of just turquoise, which is good because turquoise is an awesome colour, but yeah, it's just kind of crosses. Anyway, I'm using 3 strands to get the coverage, and I used a Krennic on the centre body part there. And it does look very pretty. It'll look very pretty when it's done. It'll be very effective. It's just not very exciting to stitch. That's my second AAN, and I'm not sure. I don't have any plans to stitch anymore at the moment, but who knows? Got plenty of other plans. So that's butterfly. And then the last whip to show you is Save the Stitches. This isn't a picture of the completed piece because I don't know where that is, but I'm sure you've seen it, but this gives you an idea what we're talking about. Save the Stitches. It's by Elizabeth Armand. It's a free download from blackworkjourney.co.uk. Put a link down below. And I'm almost halfway, about 12 months behind on this. Well, no, it's been going for 12 months. I started on the 1st of January 2015. A lot of people finished it within the year. I didn't because I lost my mojo with it. Because Stitch Mania came along and I got all excited about my Macintosh Mill. Anyway, the plan is that it will be finished this year by completing 2 blocks a month. So this month in January, I did these 2 blocks. Once I've done this one over here and then the row of motifs here, which are similar to these, that will be the halfway mark. So we're almost there. So this month I should get to the halfway point with this one. And you can see, oh, it's that big. So this is on 28 count Lugana. And yeah, it's beautiful soft fabric. It's probably a bit softer, a bit lighter. It is lighter than Joberlin. Even Wave. This is Mushroom. This is the colour. And that's where we're up to. With my my own choice in colours on that. It's Navy 3750, and then we have highlights in satins in gold, green and red, we'll say. Anyway, I've got information to that in other videos. If you want me to put that down below, I can do that again. It's been appearing for 12 months, so I've spoken about it before. Anyway, so that's my whips. I'll just show you just a couple of things I grabbed. This is going to be a short video. Yes. Oh, we'll have a short intermission. If you want to go grab a coffee and you're not interested in Pyrex, now would be the time. Pyrex. I didn't talk about it in my last video, so I thought I might this time for anyone interested. So I actually found some Pyrex this last month, which is the first time in a while because I haven't really had a chance to be out looking for it, but I found this. And this belongs to this little set here, navy blue. So I got this set of 3, and it's called Colonial Mist. Now, Colonial Mist is quite significant, actually, because if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen a photo of this. So this is actually the last pattern to be produced and released by Pyrex USA in this style. and it came out in 1983. 83, I think. I think they sold it into 86. I don't know, I might be wrong on that. Now, when I say this type of Pyrex, what I mean is opal Pyrex, which is the Pyrex I collect. Opal being the white interior and exterior when not covered. All the Pyrex that you get now, as you will have noticed, is clear. You get your measuring jugs and you can get round dishes with plastic lids, and they have different themes for different holidays, and you can get Christmas, and you can even get Valentine's Day ones, and Halloween and other things. But it's all clear glass, whereas this is white glass. And they no longer produce the white glass. And the reason that I'm aware of is because it uses lead during the production of this Pyrex. And, I mean, lead's not great for the environment. It's toxic for humans and in large doses. I don't think the human body has a way of actually getting rid of lead once it's in your system. So it builds up and then you die of lead poisoning. But that's in the manufacturer. It's safe in here. You might read some things occasionally that says there's lead in Pyrex. Well, technically there is, but it is completely safe. But the manufacturing uses lead, so they no longer produce it anymore. So it will never be produced again. And this was the last of this generation of Pyrex to be produced. So it's quite significant. It's not really very popular among collectors, although, I mean, it's quite nice. Maybe a bit country for some people. It's a bit 80s in that way. But yeah, it cost me $20 for the set of 3, which it's not in the best condition. I don't know if you can see that. It's got some little rub on the colour and stuff like that. But look, you can't find Pyrex that often where I come from, and $20, I don't think that's going to break the bank. And it's something worth having in a collection because it is the last that was ever produced. So there you go. And it doesn't, I don't know where to really put it amongst my colours there, so I've just popped it there. So that's that. All right. You made your coffee? Okay, good. I'll just show you a couple of things that I've bought this year. So, another enabled thing by a Flosstube. I don't know which one because so many of you have showed this. Tacky Bob, a bead holder. I haven't even opened it. I kind of just want to save it for when I'm actually going to do beading. So apparently it's a little case and it's got like a tacky surface inside. You put your beads down on there and then you can just get them out and they don't roll around and hit people in the head when you're on the train, do they, Teresa? Yeah, so I've got a tacky bob because I will do beading this year. I certainly will do beading because look what else I got. I went to an LNS. Now, Aussies, word up. There's an LNS in Canberra and it's called the Crafty Frog. And if you're in Canberra, you've got to go because it's pretty much cross-stitch. It's cross-stitch and knitting on one side, just like, you know, they've got shelves of wool. But then they've got, most of the stores actually cross-stitch, other embroidery, but a lot of cross-stitch. And they have, I'll put some photos in of the store. Here's some photos. How awesome is that? They have all the Mill Hill beads. They have all the DMC. Obviously, they have Anchor. They had racks of hand-dyed variegated floss that were just, they had Dinky dyes. They had Weeks Dye Works. They had, I don't know the name of the other brand they had, but it's in one of the photos there. They had the most amazing colours, and I think their prices were very reasonable considering. I think they were very competitive. They definitely weren't overpriced. They had racks of patterns. They had some mirabilias. I saw Heaven and Earth, Mystic Stitch. I mean, blah, 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 blah. They just had all sorts of stuff like that. I bought a lamp while I was there. It was only $79. It's a floor lamp with a magnifier, that's also pretty competitive pricing. And fabric. They had, in one of the photos there was a wall of fabric. I got a little bit of fabric, not much. I got this to do, Carolyn, Celtic. Is it Celtic Christmas or Celtic Noel? Should really look. That one. I got you won't, yeah, well, oh yeah. So it's basically more of a grey fawn than a mushroom fawn. Look, that's it's a bit lighter than mushroom. Lagana. But it looks to me like a Joberlin as well. Anyway, I've got that to do my Celtic on, and I did a toss floss with the colours, and the red looks good because I wanted something neutral. Anyway, at Crafty Frog, they cut 2 size for you, which is fantastic. She took a lot of care when she cut that. Look how square that is. And that piece there, which was, I believe, about 45 by 60 or 40 by 60 centimetres, that cost $13. Very reasonable. So, yeah, check out the Crafty Frog. And I also got some little Mill Hill bead kits because I'm dying to do some of these. These are on my wish list a while ago, and now I have them. So they can move to the stash category, can't they? Holiday Panda, because my son's favourite teddy bear is Panda, so he will love that. That says it comes with a magnet. Beads, lovely things. More beads and lovely things in this one. Oh, it's pretty, isn't it? Tiny Treasured Diamond, Royal Orchid. Pretty. Christmas jewels, a couple of those. So I'm all ready for Christmas. Very excited. So I grabbed those at the Crafty Frog. I didn't actually need anything else while I was there, so it was a bit of a scouting mission. And Jen has been this weekend as well, and we might have to do a bit of a road trip. And the Canberra Facebook group, are they meeting up this weekend or next weekend or this month? The Canberra girls are meeting up at Crafty Frog. So, yay Crafty Frog. Check it out. Support it. Local and really good and really helpful stuff. I got, what else have I got? Oh, I won a little competition. It's exciting. Demi Grace on YouTube and on Instagram. I won, I didn't win this one, I bought this one, but I won, that's artistic, isn't it? I won an 11-inch Q-snap cover, which I gave to my mum because she got a Q-snap. That's 11-inch. And she's doing crewel embroidery on it. I must get a photo of that. Anyway, and then I bought this one. Beautifully made. Thank you very much, Demi. That was very kind of you. And last thing, a project that's coming up. Now, there is a stitch-along group. Now, when I start talking about this, just so you know, I think, let me explain first. Okay, so there is a stitch-along. And the stitch-along is to stitch a design for Ronald McDonald House around the world. Now, there's a lady, I believe she's in Pennsylvania, who, I'm not sure how it came about, but Ursula Michaels, who you'll all recognise her designs, has designed a chart specifically for Ronald McDonald House. And the idea is that there will be one stitched for every single Ronald McDonald House around the world and family room in hospitals. And this is the design. Now I'm going to show you the pattern because it is available for free in the Facebook group. So I'm sure I'm not breaking any rules here. If I am, then you can see Ursula Michaels, very much in her style, the words within a shape. So there's the Ronald McDonald House, and it says lovely things like sanctuary, support, caring, family, peace of mind, home away from home, compassion, the house that love built, down here. And it's beautiful, and it's in their colours of red, gold and black. And basically there have been all these people come into this Facebook group and nominate to stitch for a different location around the world, and pretty much every location is taken. So anyone who might be interested in doing this, I had a lot of people asking me on Instagram if certain places were allocated and being stitched for. I think pretty much every location is being stitched for, because you can imagine something like this, there's a lot of stitchers who want to do it. It means a lot to a lot of people. Ronald McDonald House, you know, it's fantastic charity, provides care and support for families who might have sick children in hospital. You know, it does a great job. Oh, hello, pussycat. So it means a lot to a lot of people. A lot of people have got some, you know, it's personal stories to do with it. Anyway, my local Ronald McDonald House already has someone who's stitching for it. So I selected to do a hospital in Sydney called Royal North Shore Hospital, which is the hospital where my son was born. And even though we didn't use the facilities of Ronald McDonald House, I can understand, I sympathise with people who do have to use their services, because it's not something that you ever want to have to use. But anyway, it means something to me to stitch it for Royal North Shore Hospital. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. So I haven't started it yet because the idea is that you present it personally, and I would love to present it personally, but I live 6 hours from Sydney. And even though I have someone who could deliver it for me, I'd like to do it myself. So I'm sure we'll go to Sydney sometime this year, and I'll take it with me and present it then. So I'll show you it once I've started stitching it. That is a wrap. Just trying to think, is there anything else? No, there's not. That's it. We're done. Happy Valentine's Day, happy February. I'll see you sometime in March. Bye.
Everybody's got to live together.